Welcome to channel where we make your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell on the side so once we have all the updates and news, you'll be the first one getting all the insight. Now today, this video is I'd like to discuss a little bit about the current situation in Australia. Obviously, in my last video, we talked about the coming out referendum, so-called The Voice. Obviously, had triggered the two political side of the parties, major, what should I say, arguments and fights, and they are pulling every aspect of life in Australia to actually trying to see and they seal the win-win situation there, but it's actually a loss-loss situation in fact. And over the weekend there has been numerous media debates. It's very extreme on the both sides, left and right, and let's just have a look. And at the end of this video, I'll provide a little bit of the information how I feel the entire immigration policy will go for the rest remaining of 2023. All right, so last but not least, let's have a look at the first news. This came out from the 20th of September 2023. It's actually a video clip that you may want to do a little search, and you may find this on the ABC News. So the title says, "Is increased migration a solution to Australia's aging population?" Well, it's not. Well, if you study the humanitarians and also the social welfare issues, obviously migration is one of the major way that a lot of countries utilizing that to sort out the aging populations. As we know that the baby boomer is gone, so the post World War II is long way away from the current situation, and most of the developed countries does have the problem of the aging population. First of all, people are living longer and longer. The medical and health is getting better, and provided that we have artificial intelligence coming in hand, that the human life has been enhanced much better. So obviously the life expectancy is getting longer and longer, meaning that aging population. And how do you deal with the aging population? For economist point of view, we need a aged population that can contribute to the economy. That means working agings. So one way to go, pretty easy, just get skilled migrants in. So United States have done it, Canada done it, UK done it, all sorts of developed countries has actually done it, and especially with the reason coming of the Singapore and also Japan, those Asian countries traditionally is really populated already, but due to the aging population, which country is not open for migration? I don't think there's any country that they are not opening migration for to deal with the aging population. So is this a question mark? I don't think it's a question mark. It's definitely a way to do it, but the problem is the current situation in a post-pandemic period of time between now and about 12 months before, there just has been too many people coming into Australia. So if they come in at once at that kind of load, it actually causing issues. So it's definitely an issue, but is it an issue altogether coming into as what they expected internationally? It's actually not just Australia experiencing this. There's a lot of countries also experiencing it. Now, the question is, how would these countries tackle this post-pandemic problem? That including inflation in Australia, obviously the housing crisis, and also the economy. Okay, the economy is not really well from what we can see there, especially looking at Europe. UK, for instance, it's going pretty bad. The inflation is going the roof. Now, where will these people go? And despite there's still a war going on, and also the tensions in Asia, and plus the issue of printing money is also causing the economy issue as well. So there's a lot of elements contributed to all this. So again, migration, yes, migration is a solution, is one of the solution to the aging population. But the problem is whether having those all together at the same period or close period of time will cause an issue. Well, provided the current government of Australia is arguing that the pandemic period of time, there's a net losing migration as well. Now they are just coming back, plus the new one coming back. Now the issue is, how come there's not enough housing there? So there's a lot of issue going on at the same time. And obviously the referendum will also triggers all these issues, all pulled together by the two major parties. Either they are from the left or the right. So now this news came from 25th of September. This morning, very early, you can see 5 a.m. Now, the title reads, Coalition, which obviously is the opposition party, calls for the cuts of student numbers, pandemic visa to slow migration. Now, we learned that the pandemic visa has already been announced to be cut by February next year, and no longer there will be a fresh new one can be done. There can be a continual one to be done. Now, whether or not they're going to kill that, I don't think so, because that's already announced. Now, they also talk about cuts for the student number. Now, I don't know. I don't know how you feel about this. Now, remember, international education is the fourth largest industry by far for the export of Australia. Now you technically calling, why don't we call cuts on the coal or the mines rather than calling for the cuts on the student number? Now obviously all the major university and private institution won't be happy in seeing this topic. Now, would this actually work? I mean, yes, there's been a lot of international students scrambling into Australia right after the border opened. That's pretty normal, because in 2021 and 2020, everybody left Australia. These people are coming back to actually fulfill what they're required to do for their qualifications. Now, we do have an inside information that we noticed that for 2024, the international student coming back is actually declining, because this year has got huge hype going up to the sky, because this including 3 years loss of international students. So should this actually trigger a cut on the international student numbers? No, I don't know how you feel about this. Is the opposition really, the coalition party, is actually using their brain to actually think about this? I'm not too sure. Why don't you leave a comment right down below and tell me about this one? I don't know. I think sometimes politicians is losing their mind by saying something which is ridiculous. And there's another one over the weekend on the 23rd of September. Now, Peter Costello is the former, I believe, the former treasurer of the Australia, also from the coalition Liberal Party. So Peter says, more babies, not immigration, is what Australia needs. Well, great. I don't know what I mean. Having more babies obviously is good for the economy, but would this really actually help? I mean, if that could help, most of the developed countries will actually get that done already. You're thinking about Korea, Japan, US. Why can't they just get more babies? Forget about the migration. Forget about the migrants. Will that actually work? Well, I put a doubt on that one. Now, first of all, we're looking at talents, right? We're looking at talents to fill the gaps. And Australia has announced the National Reconstruction Fund, and also all type of sort of high-tech space, aerospace, defense, semiconductor, advanced manufacturing. Now tell me, having more babies and wait for those babies to get mature, get educated, get the skill done, about 30 years. Do you think 30 years is a bit too long? I'm not too sure how to answer that. I mean, having a baby obviously for long run is good, but to cater the shortened requirement of the economy, I don't think, I personally, I don't think having more babies now could actually sort out the aging population, and also to sort out the talents required or the skill required for multiple different type of sectors and industries. So again, I just feel hilarious when I see this kind of news came out, and plus the one that they have just said today, this morning, cutting on the student numbers. I mean, why don't we just, technically just shut down everything in Australia and close the whole border, just like how we have done it in 2020 and 21, treat it like a pandemic? How will that work? I'm not too sure. Now, last but not least, on the weekend also, you see this is the same editor, David Crow, saying the starting number is about to trigger a toxic debate about Big Australia. Now, what is Big Australia? Let me have a little explanation. Big Australia was a phrase coined by the former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd. He had the vision to see how Australia will actually develop and become one of the world's superpowers, just like USA. So obviously, what Australia is currently having is not enough population to become a superpower. Now, whether or not Australia want to be a superpower, I'm not too sure. Probably a lot of people don't want that. But it's the sixth largest continent in the world, and with only 26 million people, it's really not really populated compared to anywhere around the world. Now, this article basically is talking about right after referendum whether the voice will be into the Constitution or not. The next big debate of Australia will be the topic of immigration. Now, it's a key because it will sort out the aging issues. It will also define how the economy will go, whether Australia will become perhaps one of the superpower in 20-30 years time, or should Australia just stay the same and just keep it quiet and get enough talent and skill to fill out the gap, and take it as just a tourist country where there's a lot of mines that people can dig out from the ground and sell it off for living. Whether that's the way Australia want to be, or Australia want to be an advanced technological country like how America and UK and numbers of European countries had become, that will be the key decision to actually be made. And this will actually require a long-term plan for the actual immigration policy, because the debating like this, it's already been going for about 10 years, starting from when Kevin Rudd coined the phrase Big Australia, and obviously he lost. And then the coalition took place for the last 10 years. They shrink the numbers down and causing a lot of issue, and then a virus came. What happened? Australia basically stuck and stopped for 2 years. Now, the housing crisis that we're looking at is also a contribution to the element of the 2 years of stop construction as well. Now, how would this all go? Really don't know. Now, this can go either side, but we really don't know what will happen. Now, a lot of people that leave comment asking whether there will be an invitation coming for the general skill migration or all that. Well, they're definitely coming, but it's gonna be this week or October or coming right after the referendum. Really don't know. I have a feeling that the current government is also debating and utilizing these issues and elements in the parliament to actually debate and also negotiate with the general public of Australia. So very interesting topic to go ahead. But the bad side of this is that all the migrants are actually suffering during this point of time. Anyway, we're here for you. Should you have more question, query, more than welcome to leave comment right now below. And I'll see you next video. Goodbye.